years ago, this book became very popular. It was kind of like this, and anything that has to do with mythology and archetypes, it's one of those things where people feel like there's some kind of secret or mystery that's going to get unlocked by tapping into these archetypes, right? I mean, if you look at the work of Freud or Jung, there's like these kind of, seems like these trapped energies, trapped teachings, mysteries to the subconscious mind that emerge from this dimension of knowingness, like fairy tales and, the stories you watch, like the hero's journey, right? That's like this tale of someone that goes, we're going to get into the hero's journey for a second here. It's like someone that's essentially a novice, a nobody, someone that's sort of like in this fake world or a protected world. And pretty quickly in the story, things happen where they can't ignore it and they're pushed into this other world that they're not really quite ready for. It's really a metaphor for taking on responsibilities, going from child to becoming an adult, getting onto an adventure, taking on some kind of responsibility or, again, adventure that's much bigger than what the protagonist or main character, or you in this case, are ready to embrace, handle, process, appreciate, overcome. So along the way, there are these masters, mentors, helpers, right? And through that process, the main character, you, get all the skills and confidence to overcome the great evil, the great difficulty, the great, wall, whatever it is that needs to be overcome. And then everybody lives happily ever after. So that's the hero's journey. So again, we're tapping into these archetypal stories that are deeply embedded in what we are, who we are as beings. Okay, very good. So this thing shows up: the king, warrior, magician, and lover. And I think this is kind of an interesting sort of formula. See, I used to think they're like separate, and some people are like kings naturally, some people are warriors, and some people are magicians, and some people are lovers, right? And that's true. We all sort of have a little bit of a bias towards one or the other, right? And we could all think of people that are like the warrior archetype or the magician, right? The magician is like the Elon Musk. The lover is like someone that like the Casanova. The warrior might be the Goggins or that other guy that's, like these Navy SEAL type people that you see that talking about mindset and whatnot. Like pushing forward and, like basically taming the inner weakling inside, right? And then of course the king would be like whoever you think, might be a king. Like who's a great example of a king? Can't think of it, but whatever you come up with, okay? So King Arthur from back in the day, right? I don't even know if that's even a true story. It might just be myth. Okay, so but how I see this is a formula for motivation and doing something with that motivation. So think of it like this. Like when you start off with crude oil, right? You get it from the ground. It's just like this black substance. You can't really do much with it. You can do some things, but you can't do much. But as you refine it and you process it, it becomes drugs. It becomes, jet fuel. It becomes kerosene. It becomes all these different things that you could use in all sorts of different ways. So you refine it and purify it and, transform it. And now you got something you could do. You could use it, right? They're very useful things. Tupperware, plastics, saran wrap, make cars, drugs, fuels, probably parts for your computer. I don't know. Cell phones. Okay. Now, you are kind of in the same situation. So Instead of calling it the lover, we'll call it desire, curiosity, things that you are interested in. The magician is a transformer. So what does a transformer do? Well, you got the things that you're interested in, and the magician organizes it, makes plans, puts things together, has a plan of action, right? Transforms something that's like the raw elements into something that's a little bit higher in order. So it comes up with a plan. And the warrior, once he gets the plans through discipline and perseverance and through sacrifice, because whenever you're doing something, you're automatically not doing something else, right? So if you have a job, that means you don't have another job that you could be doing. So there are these choices you have to make. And so this is where the warrior comes in and has to put discipline in, put action in, make sacrifices, right? Focus. And then finally, the king gets agreements and negotiations, gets help, right? Gets allies, and has to decide what needs to be focused on and what needs to be not focused on or eliminated, because there's a vision, okay? And so this is essentially a formula to achieving your goals. Quite simply put.